Tell us about your
Hi,
appearance on Tameside TV podcast, was it? Tameside Radio podcast.
Tameside Radio podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a work thing in Tameside. I invited down to it.
Hmm.
Me and my colleague Mick just talked about what we do and why we do it. And obviously, I'm not listening to it, but apparently, it's really good.
Well, why would you be
Mick
surprised
messaged
at
me and
that?
he said, Mick messaged me and he went, "I'm 10 minutes in and it's flipping amazing." I was like, "Okay, I'll go.
Brilliant.
I'm still not going to listen to it, but whatever." So yeah, that was good.
Nice. Get you on a professional podcast.
Uh, And there was
Don't need
like
to.
a microphone right in front of my face
A proper
that you had to
microphone as
sit
well.
right next to. Yeah, and they kept they were constantly looking across at the sound levels and everything. I thought they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to slum it like us boys.
Ah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. They wouldn't have the first clue of how to uh, set up a podcast just
No,
using Zoom and a phone and a laptop,
there you go.
and that's it.
Well,
But anyway, welcome, listener. Thanks for, I was going to say tuning in. That's not right. Thanks for streaming or downloading. This is episode 51. And what we thought we'd
yeah.
do is, what we thought we'd do is we'd have a little review and see. uh, we 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 thought we'd interview ourselves again
Yeah,
and see
why not?
how things have changed for us in the last couple of years. Because I think certainly for
Because it has
me,
changed.
yeah, certainly for me, and I know from you as well, from uh, talking as well, Wes, that things have changed, haven't they? You know,
Yeah,
I think for me, doing the pod and talking to people with different opinions and views and stuff has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So
yeah,
it's going to be
100%.
interesting to see how that goes. But first of all, let me just say, in the previous episode and the one before that, I talked about a leaving do that I was planning and going to
Yes,
Puretta in Camden, and that was last week. And oh
cool.
my gosh, it was amazing.
Really.
Absolutely amazing. Yep. You've got to get yourself down there. You've got one in Manchester.
Oh, is
Where's
that?
Yeah, Manchester, Camden, and Brighton, and highly, highly recommended. Absolutely fantastic. I went with
We've
10
got
carnists.
it's our Christmas do this weekend. I literally could have suggested that, but I don't know what's happening.
Wow, just go
Okay.
there. Just go there by
Yeah, I'll
yourself.
just go on my own.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I went with 10 carnists, and I was a little bit apprehensive that it was going to be, that they were going to start moaning about it, but all the food went. People had starters and desserts, and all the different pizzas. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Lovely
Wow.
restaurant.
So that was ten carnists and you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
It was
takes
great.
that takes some nuts, that does.
Well,
Fair play to you.
I said to them, it's my leaving do, and I'm going to Purezza.
Yeah.
You could come along if you want. If not, I'll just go
Yeah.
by myself because I really wanted to go. You might
No,
also
fair
notice,
play
Wes, that
to you.
my this is very visual, but you might notice my beard is a bit shorter, quite a lot shorter.
Yes. I
Um,
thought something was different and I thought it's not your hair.
no, definitely not my hair. The beard is shorter because I did the classic thing of before I started my new team on Tuesday. I thought I'll just give the beard a trim, and I went, "Zh." Oh shit, it's
Okay.
the wrong clippers. It's the wrong head on the clippers, and I used number one instead of number two, and
Oh
it's
man.
and it was just like I was bollocks.
No, I cut mine back. But
Yes.
I was so scared of it that when I got the beard clippers out, I made sure it was on. I must have quadruple checked that it was on the longest setting on it. I was like, yeah, it's not. Please don't go too short. I look like a right Wally. I look like
Well,
a Wally anyway, but take the beard off them, it's even worse.
no, but it would be for you because your beard was really long, wasn't it? It would have been
Yeah,
a massive shock if you'd have suddenly gone really short all of a sudden.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, luckily my new team didn't know me with a long beard, so it's no big deal for them. Um,
yeah. That's good.
so there we go.
Good.
Anyway, So how have you been apart from being on a proper podcast? What have you been up to?
Apart from that, working, loving my job. My job is amazing as always. And today, no, yes. Let's start with today
Mm,
about where I went.
yeah.
So I was at St Mary's Hospital in Manchester, doing my job, seeing some dads in there, and I was talking to my colleague, who I did the Tameside podcast with, about the fact I've been to the Etihad. I'm not a big football fan, as you know, but
No.
I've been to the Etihad and seen a couple of games, but I'd never really known or seen where the old main road stadium was. And he went, "Well, it's only about half a mile down the road." I went,
Ah.
"Oh, right." And he goes, "When we get in the car, I'll take you around there." So we're driving down this road, and he went, "It's just there." And it's literally just a housing estate. He
Oh, and
said,
that's it.
but in the middle of this housing estate is the original centre circle. So
Ah, yes.
there's like a little tiny green in this little street, and part of it is
Yes.
the original centre circle left from Main
Wow.
Road, which was I was blown away. I wasn't a Man City fan back then, but just to be in this little, stadiums get knocked down,
Yeah.
places move on. But the fact they've kept this centre circle, I was like, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I
So that
like
was
that.
good. On on a bigger vegan note,
Yeah. Yeah, this
Saturday
is a
night,
vegan podcast listener, just FYI. Yeah.
yeah,
Just in
um,
case.
if you're still listening, then well done. Um, Saturday night, me and my wife attended a candlelight ceremony
Yes.
concert with the legends that are Mobius Loop. We
Yes.
were up in the hippie capital of the world, probably world or UK, whichever it is,
Yeah.
Hebden Bridge in West Yorkshire, in a church that's up there. I can't remember the name of the church off the top of my head. But yeah, it was a lovely little chilled evening of some of Mobius Loop's more chilled, more emotive music.
Yeah.
Um, and she was just beautiful, absolutely stunning. They can
Fantastic.
party like the next people, but they can also chill it out as well. And it was quite emotional at times. Songs about the baby that they had sadly lost,
Oh,
um,
geez.
and also yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful evening. And there was some food being served there by, oh man, can't remember, Tribe,
Oh,
an
wow.
organisation called Tribe,
Yeah.
and they were sort of situated in the back corner of the church, serving curry and cake, which is an odd mix, but it worked.
Not
So
all in one
yeah,
go.
not all in one go.
No. Okay,
That's
fine.
weird.
Yeah.
Curry, rice, cake underneath. No, 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 no. But yeah, it was really good. It was a beautiful evening, and yeah, if anybody can catch the rest of that tour, then do it because if there's no dancing, it's sitting listening. But it was stunning.
Amazing. And we saw you um on their Instagram in the background of one
Yeah,
of the shots.
yeah, yeah.
Loved it.
It had been commented by someone that was a friend of mine that just looking miserable. But in fairness, it wasn't a smiling event.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
Just
wasn't an
looking
event to
miserable.
be partying. Yeah,
Ah, awesome. That sounds good.
yeah. What about you? You been up to much apart from going to pizza restaurants?
Pizza restaurant singular. Um, well, now you're gonna laugh at this, but we also went to a
I
candlelit
think you'll find I'll be the judge of that.
we went to a candlelit concert with classical
Okay,
music with a
nice.
string quartet um at Delaprey Abbey in Northampton, if anybody knows
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Also on Saturday night. Although it wasn't the music of famous vegans Mobius Loop, it was the music of Taylor Swift,
Oh wow, a
which
string
was
quartet playing
yes,
Taylor Swift shit. Wicked.
yes. And there were more than it was only an hour, but there was more than one song where I sat there all the way through and I was like, don't recognize that one. There was obviously the most famous ones. They played all those, and they did. Oh God, what did they do? Shake It Off and Love Story and All Too Well. Not the 10-minute version. Uh,
Shake It Off's literally the only one I know.
yeah, and then
That's how old I am.
some of the others, even when they said this one's such and such from such and such album, I was still like, no,
Right?
that's it. But it was very nice because it was a load of fake candles around the edge of the room. So it wasn't actually candle lit, but they were like LEDs and flickering and stuff.
Yeah.
So it still had that sort of ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I said to Lou, my wife, on the way home, does that mean we're in our classical music era now? Which is a hilarious Taylor Swift joke.
Right, lost
Yeah.
on me. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it was very good. Apart from that, yeah, no, that's it.
But me and Michelle were just saying after that gig that it shows how old we are that we now enjoy sitting down watching slow, chilled out music in a
Yes.
church.
Quite a turnaround from when the four of us went to see Prodigy, and you two were way off down the front, and I was at the back holding the coats. It was too rough for me. I'm very delicate. That was a mad night. That was at the where was that? The NIA, was it, in Birmingham?
NIA, yeah.
God, that was a long time ago.
That was a long because yeah, we had hair.
We did. We had hair and no children, which may be related. I'm not sure. As in the lack of loss of hair and the number of children. Anyway, I thought of something else then.
Go on.
I'll tell you what I've done. I've been listening to lots of different podcasts, and I'm going to have three recommendations.
Okay.
Felonious, which Nazia came on and told us about. At the same time, she told us about Purezza. That's been really, really good. Highly recommended. True crime podcast. Veg Your Best with our previous guest, Michelle. Again, fantastic. And Compassion and Cucumbers, which I've mentioned a couple of times before.
Okay.
That's a really interesting vegan podcast by a couple in New York. And they gave us a shout out in their most recent episode and said hello and thanks for listening. So it's good.
Wicked.
Yep, they're good. I'd love to get them on to have a chat about the vegan stuff, because they do a lot of like vegan shows and stuff like that.
Right, cool.
I mean, like vegan markets and festivals and stuff, not just not just a podcast. So
also,
go on.
Vegan, top vegan, our mate Chad is coming back with season 2.
Oh wow! Fantastic
good
news. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to get him back on.
I'm not applying because it's a bit of a long way to go to America.
That's a long trip.
And I can't cook. I can't cook that amount of food. I can cook a curry, a chili, and bolognese. That'll do me. But
not all in one.
Yeah,
again.
Not all in one, and not with cake. So yeah, unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to my monotonous voice and Matthew's beautiful voice this evening, because we're just going to talk about ourselves again.
Why not? Well, I mean, we don't really need to do What's Your Vegan Story again, because if you want to know that, go back and listen to episode 1.
And
the origin
episodes through when other guests have gone. So
what's yours?
Why are you two vegan? You mean our guest hasn't listened to episode 1? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know, that's mad. Oh, dear. So, where do you want to start? What's the best thing about being vegan? I think I gave a bit of a facetious answer to this about feeling better than everybody else. And I think that's because I didn't really know. And then we had Jim on episode 5, who is a fellow member of Vegan Runners. And he gave a 1-word answer. Oh, no, 2-word answer, which absolutely sums it up. Saving animals.
Yeah.
That's it. You
Yeah,
just
there
know
is
every
that.
day you're not causing deliberate harm to any other living creature.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't top that.
Yeah. I can't top it. And why would you? I guess. Um, I was when you just said that because this isn't expected. You know, this is strangely not scripted. Um,
Can you believe it,
and
listener? This isn't
I wasn't
scripted.
I wasn't sure where you were going to go with the start of that, and I just, as you said it, I just thought to myself that I kind of like having conversations now.
Yes.
At the beginning, you know, when we started this 2 years ago, I've been vegan 3 years and still didn't know how to have a discussion with somebody.
No.
Whereas now I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a bit of knowledge behind me, particularly off of the podcast, and
Yeah.
hearing other people's, you know, and watching a few more videos and just getting a bit more knowledge behind me that
Mm.
I can go into a conversation confidently and know what I'm talking and know within a margin of error that I'm right.
Yes. And yes, I agree with that. And I've taken that on board to the extent that I've put an Elwood's dog meat sticker on my work laptop.
Yes.
And the number of people who have asked me about what's that? Dog meat. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. Why don't you Google it? Not on your work computer, but why don't you Google it? And we'll have a
Yeah,
chat
it's
about
that
it.
thing,
And
isn't
the
it?
number of yeah,
It's that thing of putting it out there. You know,
that's
like
it.
I wear my not your mum, not your milk hoodie,
Yeah.
proudly waiting for someone to go,
What does that mean?
why or what does it mean?
Yeah,
You know,
that's it.
I'll have a conversation with you,
That's it. It's given me the
and I won't be an
confidence to
arsehole.
it's given me the confidence to feel happy bringing it up or responding to questions about it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just by talking to people. I think that's for me, that's the best thing about having done the pod
Mm.
is having that confidence. And also, you know, how many people that we've spoken to and, you know, new friends that we've made or new contacts that we've made, if nothing else,
Mm.
that um we've, you know, stayed in touch with, that we can talk about vegan stuff with and all that. You know, the laugh that we had with the vegan queens. Jesus,
Yeah.
man alive, what an
Yeah.
episode that
That
was.
was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. So I
Yes.
think also so sort of moving on. That
Hmm.
whole what's the biggest struggle question?
Yeah.
I think now, and I can't remember what my answer was then, but I think now, being this so far this side of the fence
Hmm.
and seeing, and we have talked about this, I know, but seeing people that I know who are incredibly empathic,
Yes.
incredibly caring,
Yeah.
but they are so blinkered in their view when they talk to me about veganism.
Yes.
And they'll even say, I respect what you do. I get why you do it, but I don't care. And I just think, but you do.
Yeah.
If you allowed, if you allowed just a little bit more information to go in, you you'd understand. But they put the walls up to stop it from going in because there's, you know, we know people do that, and
Mm.
it does my head in. It really it hurts if anything because you just
Yeah.
you, you know these people are compassionate and they're kind and they want to do good, but they refuse to
Except for that.
entertain this. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
and it
It's
does it.
incredibly
I think it's really
frustrating.
sad.
Mm. It's incredibly frustrating. There's some people who, you know, you're never going to get anywhere in a conversation with them. They're going to
Yeah,
just cut you off and come back with, yeah, but what about all the animals that get killed when you're harvesting plants and stuff?
Yeah.
You're never gonna win that argument
No.
right from the start. But then there's other people, like you say, who seem like they're so close, but then just point blank refuse. Yeah, you're right. That's really quite frustrating.
Mm.
That is a
Is
struggle.
that, if those people would, like I said, if they would entertain 2 hours of time, split over a month to to watch some of those videos, to all the arguments that they come out with. Okay, go and watch this video, and that will explain that. Because you're not going to
Yes.
listen to me. Go and listen to the facts that are in that video. If and then they come with another one, we'll go and watch that video as well in that time. And just if veganuary, somebody your friend come to you and you said, right, I've got this argument, prove me wrong. Okay, go watch that, and just keep that
Yeah.
conversation going.
Hmm.
That I think that would be more beneficial, but they're not going to listen
No.
they don't listen to us, because who are we? We're just mere mortals with a face
Well,
for podcasts.
we're
Oh,
famous
sorry, you're not.
podcasters.
Well, yeah.
You are. Um, no, yeah, I absolutely get it. It's that is a struggle. It really is. For me as well, I get quite a lot of doom and gloom about the state of the world at the minute, and
Yeah.
the more I read, the worse it feels. That's
Yeah.
quite a struggle at some points when you hear about new oil exploration and new um even like um electric cars are sold to us as being these, planet saving devices that's going to cut down on oil and gas. But the
Yeah.
minerals that they have to mine for the batteries aren't really that much better. They fly them all around
Right.
the world to put the cars together. All the components come from all over the place. They're all wrapped in plastic when they're being transported.
Mm.
And even to the extent that it's still a car on the road, it still needs tires, and microplastics from the tires go into the water supply and damage wildlife and get into drinking water. So really, who's benefiting there apart from the people who own shares in the car companies?
Yeah. Yeah. There was me hoping to come into this episode and go, actually, when we're talking about hope, which we can get back to perhaps a bit later,
We never asked that in our episode,
no, we didn't.
did we? So we'll come on to that at the
And
end.
I still, yeah, yeah, I just, I was I was going to come in with a bit more positivity, but you just knocked me like a
No,
10 pin bowling alley. I've just gone strike one all over.
you save it for the last question. Let's do that. Right, favorite vegan product at the moment?
Oh, so so I was talking to Michelle about this earlier, and my go-to favorite vegan product right now, as always, are Grow Burgers. I just think they're incredible. They're the best burgers out there. The burgers, the chicken burgers, um, they're my faves. And there's many others, but they're my what I like. I've always liked a burger, and they're the ones I like the most.
Nice.
However, inspired by guests on a podcast again, just you'd have to edit this. I can't remember the name. The comedian and
Stephen Marcus Relaford.
Laura Chetner. That's it.
Yeah.
So Laura Chetner and um, the comedian whose name I can't
Stephen.
remember, Stephen Relaford, keeping it really ridiculously simple, I just think is utterly beautiful.
Hmm.
And when I struggle sometimes for lunch, let's say lunch, I'm out working and I've forgotten to pack something and I just need to grab something quick. To grab a packet of pita breads and a tub of hummus
Yes.
is one of the greatest lunches. I have ever enjoyed. And it's so simple, but I love it.
Do you
It's
know what?
like,
That is absolutely amazing that you said that, because I was just thinking my answer now is hummus.
yeah,
The other day, my lunch was cucumber sticks and hummus.
yeah,
And even if you'd said to me probably a year ago that I would do that, I would say you must be absolutely off your rocker. But
right, okay.
over the past couple of months, I've just felt like I want to get away from processed stuff as much as I
Yeah,
can. It's not always possible, and there's a lot of times when, you know, with my job, I often don't get back till late. Same with my wife, and so there isn't a lot of time to cook and prepare stuff. So we do
yeah.
fall back to something that's been processed. But when
Cook
we
in the oven.
can, yeah, when we can, um, like I did a Thai curry last week from Manami Frost's book. Manami Frost. I did it from her cookery book. Sorry, everyone. And
I will never know.
it's
I will never know, but I hope that stays in.
I'll see how I feel when I'm editing it. But it was just, like just some vegetables and coconut milk and a bit
Yeah,
of, bit of spice and some um green curry paste, and that's it.
yeah,
It's so simple. And
yeah.
yeah, I've really tried to make an effort to be eating. I know hummus is processed because it's whizzed up chickpeas, isn't it? But
But
it's not.
technically everything has been through a process. So
Yeah,
where do you draw the line on processed food? I know what you mean.
yeah. It's not ultra.
With hummus, we make pasta, and the hummus is the sauce. We had jacket potato the other
Wow.
night, and I just chucked hummus on the potato, and it was amazing.
Oh, I bet that was amazing.
Yeah, just
I've never tried that.
it doesn't get simpler than a jacket potato in the oven, butter on it, and
Yeah.
hummus. It's
Oh, I
like,
love
come
that.
on. But I've started. So I learned off of this is a little recipe moment, but I found a thing cooking mushrooms, fry mushrooms up, spoon of Marmite, spoon of peanut butter,
What?
and then so your plant milk of choice, and it goes into like the color of like a stroganoff. And
Oh,
I don't know if it tastes a little bit stroganoffy, but it you can put it with rice, pasta, whatever, or I just eat it as a bowl of mushrooms with peanut butter and Marmite,
wow.
and I don't care, and it's amazing. But going off the back of that, I now start doing curries by putting frying my veggies up, herbs and spices in, a spoonful of almond butter, and then plant milk, and it just goes really creamy. I was like,
Oh,
why don't I do this before? Because it used to be chopped tomatoes, passata, coconut milk, and it was like a
yes.
flood. It was like a
Yes.
flooded
Too
curry.
much. Yeah.
Whereas now it just goes into a creamy sauce. I'm like, oh, it's so good. And it's so simple.
Nice. We need to start
It's
up a
so
recipe
simple.
channel.
Yeah, I'm doing that. It's not happening. But yeah,
Brilliant. I love
there's.
that.
What about your favourites? Where are you going apart from hummus?
Well, I've got to go with the hummus to start, and I mean that goes
Start.
back to, for a starter, that goes back to Paul in episode 3 who mentioned chickpeas was his
Yeah.
top vegan product, and there's a lot to be said for chickpeas. Product is tricky. Hmm. I mean, any of the oat milks. The I think it's Khalifa is the brand. I might have got that wrong. I might cut that bit out. Um, what else do I like?
I mean, Mrs. V cooks a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
You post so much on Facebook
I'm
about it.
so I'm so lucky that she'll just go, and the thing is, like I can follow a recipe, but she'll go in the kitchen and go, right, I feel like making a curry, and she'll put, like you say, fry up some veg, do the bits and bobs, and then it comes to the herbs and spices, and she's like, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, they'll go
Yeah,
well together. Chuck it all in. It
yeah,
tastes amazing. You're like, how can I replicate that? She's like, I don't know. I just chucks it in.
No.
But it tastes like
Exactly.
you bought it
Yeah.
from a restaurant.
Yeah.
I haven't got that level of skill or knowledge to
It's
be
not-
able to
That's
do it.
what I do. It's not skill. I just chuck it in. I don't know.
Oh dear. I'm trying to think now really what products there are. I don't know really. I mentioned Richmond sausages before. They're still my favourite sausage, I think. I'm going to give a shout out to Damn Good Dough, which is a donut company in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire. You've had one of those when you came to visit us just after we
Was
moved.
that?
Mm.
Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Ah,
Damn Good Dough.
I
Really
thought
good.
it was I thought it was Brunswick.
Oh, Butterwicks. No, it was
Butterwicks.
no,
Sorry.
Damn Good. Oh, was it? No, I'm sure it was Damn Good Dough. And I can't think of anything else. So let's go with those.
Okay, cool.
My favourite things at the minute tend to be, like you say, like a curry or a chili or something like that. I haven't really got a product that I would say. I know there's been a lot of talk about that Juicy Marbles steak, but that really doesn't interest me.
No. 3D printed food scares me, if I'm honest. I don't know if that's age
There is that.
or what. I just see 3D printing should be resin based and stuff. 3D printing food is just a tad scary.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I think, yeah.
Anybody that does want to do it, you crack on, but it's
yeah, absolutely. No, that's it. And this is the good thing about the number of products there are. I mean, even in the 2 years we've been doing this, the number of vegan products has expanded, but also really diversified into so many different areas. Because there was a time, I think probably in between going vegan and probably starting the pod, that sort of 2-3 years, when it seemed like, certainly in the freezer bit in our Tesco, it was mince, sausages and burgers from about 5 or 6 different companies, and pies.
Linda McCartney pies.
But from 5 or 6 different companies, it was just all the same stuff though.
Yes.
It was just burgers, mince, pies and sausages, and that was it. But now you go in there, there's so much variety. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's been a real
like
real
IKEA style meatballs and Sunday roast, like pastry parcel type things, and all sort and different types of nut roast that different supermarkets will do and stuff. Yeah,
love a nut
roast. Gone off in it.
Yes.
Yeah, who'd have thought that? Can you imagine us 20 years ago going, we've got nut roast for 10? You'd have gone, fuck off.
When your dear wife was the only vegan in the village, and she would have nut roast, and we'd all be having, dead animals, and we'd all be looking at it going, what the fuck is that? That looks awful. And now here we are going, ooh, nut roast.
Nut roast, I love a nut roast. Fucking bizarre, isn't it? Absolutely bizarre.
How the tables have turned.
But yeah, like you say, it's like with Veganuary is great for all of this. It's just shit that they don't do it all year. If you can do it for a month, you can do it for the rest of the pissing year.
Yeah.
The things fly off the shelves. They got put on the shelves 2 weeks ago, and they're empty already.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if they're selling, why aren't you doing it the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. But
it's nut roast.
It's nuts roast. Very good.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's Organic Dog Meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing?
I do, a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a Lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared, and every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely, unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat,
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
everything the dog's been fed,
Everything about it.
for each dog.
Yeah, only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people, meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested, there's only Elwood's Organic Dog Meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
So, we've done favourite product, favourite venue.
Good God.
Well, I'm
Go on.
going to one of the best vegan eateries. Well, I went to a couple last year. One of them, which was great, was the church, Ollie Sykes's place.
Yes, in Sheffield.
That was amazing. It really was really, really, really good.
Okay.
Josh is even still trying to master their oh God, what do you call it? Satay chips. The satay sauce they put on the chips.
What?
Uh,
Wow.
Unbelievable. Honestly, it was
Okay.
incredible. But also that restaurant that we went to in down Northampton.
In Northampton, Carmana.
Man,
wasn't
I
that-
thought it was really,
Wasn't that
really good.
amazing?
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely.
And that
Love
really,
it. In there.
was, you know, it was as you know, the whole vegan thing that they were really nice people and they were chatty and
Yeah.
we had a really good chat with the owner about veganism and his background from where he, you know, used to live when he was younger and the whole
Mhm.
community out there is mind blowing. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast in the
That would
future
be brilliant,
and
wouldn't it?
talk about it because he fascinated me. I'm not going to explain what he said because I want him to do it. But
Yeah.
like, it was just really interesting. So yeah, I think that's where I'd go with it myself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
most of the other places that I've been are only options.
Mm. Yes. So I think for this one, it should be a vegan only place. And Carmana's right up there. Absolutely fantastic. Herman's in Stockholm. It's a couple of years since I've been. But the all you can eat lunch or dinner there is absolutely amazing. It's like
In
a
the
buff.
words of Monty Python, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, absolutely
To have gone
amazing.
to anywhere in Scandinavia, you know, blows my mind.
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. Where else? Well, Purezza was amazing for pizza, and Mildred's in Soho. I think there's one in Camden as well. I've not been to that one, but certainly Soho in London is also absolutely incredible. Love it in there.
Yeah, it's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
I can't remember
I
what my
can't
answers were
remember.
the first time round.
I don't think I knew anyone. Oh, VREV. It was VREV.
Oh,
VREV.
Rev, which no longer exists. That's how long we've been doing this
What a
podcast.
shame. What a shame.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad. And others that we've lost along the way because there's been a few. It seems like it's unfortunately fairly
Yeah.
common that places are going under.
But like we said at the time when VREV went, it isn't the fact they're vegan. It's the restaurant industry. There's loads. There's just your bog standard restaurants are going under as well.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Okay. All right. What advice would you give to anyone who's thinking about going vegan?
Now, I knew this was coming up, and I hate to say this. I have given advice to people.
Hmm.
People have come and said, asked me why, said they're thinking about it. What should they do? And I don't ever think I've given the right advice. Can't use naivety as an excuse now.
Mm.
4 years ago, I could use naivety because I wouldn't have known what the answer was.
Yeah.
But there's so much I want to talk about when somebody asks me it. I
Yeah.
think I overwhelm.
That's it. It's getting it, pitching it right, because each person needs it in a different way. It's not
Yeah,
one
yeah.
size fits all, and
Yeah,
it's
and
not.
I personally haven't nailed that yet. Of maybe the question is, to start with, why?
Yeah.
Why are you interested? What reasons would you do it?
Mm.
But I can't. I'm like, oh my God, go watch this, go watch that, do this, do that. And it's like, what the fuck's he on?
Well, it's because it's so exciting when someone says, I need some
Yeah,
help with this, and help me, Obi-Wan
yeah,
Kenobi." That
yeah.
sort of thing. So it's easy to overwhelm people because you've got the knowledge, and you can say, yeah, and also what worked for you, and I don't mean you, Wes, but what for you as the vegan doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for
No,
everybody, because if that was true, every single person who watched Cowspiracy like we did would be vegan. We know that's not the case. So it
no, exactly. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right. You've got to say to them, okay, well, firstly, that's brilliant, but why are you interested in it, and what do you get from your food at the minute that you would still need to get? So from that, I mean, are they like a bodybuilder who still needs to get a certain amount of protein in their diet or whatever?
yeah,
Are they doing it for a health reason, and that they want to cut down on meat and dairy and replace those things with other stuff?
mm,
What are they looking to get out of it? Because a
yeah,
lot of people, it will be that they go plant-based first without worrying
yeah,
about the clothing and cosmetics and all that sort of stuff.
yeah.
So,
And I know that what I've done hasn't worked because I've spoke to those people later and they haven't changed.
well, that's on them.
So
It's not on you. It's
yeah, yeah, but it means that my advice didn't catch.
okay. Well, maybe it caught
Maybe the
enough.
seed's still growing.
Yeah, and maybe if they hadn't spoke to you and hadn't gotten the answers they got, they would have gone back quicker than they
Mm,
did. You
no,
it's one of those impossible things to know, isn't it? But yeah, for me it would be ask what they want, and also sort of ask about what meals they eat at the minute, because then you can suggest, okay, well, right, well, if you have a spaghetti bolognese every week, just take the beef mince out and put veggie mince in. I mean, that's a piece of
yeah,
piss. That's the easiest swap you can
yeah,
do.
yeah,
You will never
yeah,
notice that you've done it. It was
no,
we did it, and we didn't tell our kids that we'd done it, because we have spaghetti bolognese almost every week, and they didn't notice for weeks and weeks until we mentioned it. So that's a really easy one.
yeah,
If it's more complicated, if you have a steak a lot, then maybe that's going to be an issue. If they love cheese, that's definitely going to be an issue. But
yeah.
you
That's
just
the
have
thing.
to accept that you
The
ain't going to
amount
have
of
it no more.
people, the amount of people that say cheese, and I'm
Yeah.
desperate to tell them you're addicted, just like heroin. I'm
Yes.
addicted to get that little fact in, and I'm like, stop, just
You're addicted
stop.
to that.
Yeah, because it blew my mind so much. Because
Yeah.
all this information that Michelle was trying to tell me for years, I now get.
Yes.
I understand
You
it,
get
and
the
I just
frustration.
want. It's that screaming it from the rooftops, isn't it? That's what I guess I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm just wanting to tell everybody all the time and get it changed
that's it.
because
No, yeah, and I absolutely get it.
the lack of hope the lack of hope we may have, I want to be part. I know I am part of making that difference, but I want to be a bigger part of it.
Yeah.
And you could argue I need to go and do more activism, but I don't think I've got the capacity to do that. I don't think I've got the mental capacity to do that level of outreach, that level of activism.
Yeah.
Because I punch someone, I would, I'd do it, and then the organisation I'm with would boot me out because I punched someone in the face.
That's not really the sort of message that we're trying to get across.
No.
But you see the videos that Joey Carbstrong, Tash Peterson, any of those, Cliff Grant, any of those people put up, and some of the answers that they get, and you think, how do you keep your cool in front of these absolute bellends?
Yeah, we'll get to this. We'll get to these people later.
Oh yes,
but did you see the latest Tash Peterson video?
I've seen about three in the last couple of days.
Talking to some lads on a beach.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
She's got her bikini on, and she's talking to these lads, and they've got their swimwear on. And this random girl comes out of nowhere and just starts calling her fat. It's like, what are you talking about? And just starts slagging off and being all, oh, that's a shame, isn't it? And I'm like, why is she doing that?
Yeah, that was.
And
bizarre.
even the lads are like, seriously, where did you even come from?
Off. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, that was insane. But so I was talking to our previous guest, Carrie, recently about the activism that she does. She's one of the organisers for We the Free in Cambridge, and she was telling us about the some of the stuff that they do, and I was like, I just, it's just absolutely incredible what you do, Carrie, but I could not do that.
No,
I couldn't do it. I would struggle so much with keeping my cool with idiots, and I think partly also being, like you were saying, like being so excited when someone asks a question that you just stumble over it and get stuff wrong because you'd be so excited that somebody was actually interested.
Yeah.
So it's really tricky, but yeah, and massive kudos to the people who go out week in, week out and do that. Amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which I think brings us on to the next question. Who's your vegan inspiration?
So, I seem to remember the last time it was literally anybody that I knew at that point.
Yes.
Because there wasn't many. So it was Joey Carbstrong. It was, I think I even said Earthling Ed, which I'll get to in a second. Joaquin Phoenix, those sorts. But now I know a bit more. I still love Joey. I think he's an absolute legend. He keeping his cool in the aggressive manner he does it is, I think, really clever. I know a lot of people don't like him, but especially seeing him last year and doing his talk, and he got really emotional and stuff. It's just I just like him. Now I know.
Sorry.
Go on. No, go on.
I was just going to say the video he did in the turkey farm just before Christmas. Yeah. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Yes.
To be going in there, hiding cameras, catching the workers abusing the turkeys, seeing all the awful conditions that they were in. Was incredible bit of activism.
Yeah, and it's not just the street talking; it's that stuff as well. They're going and saving people, saving animals. But Earthling Ed, what I was going to say was, I didn't really follow him at first. I knew he was there, and I knew he was a bit of a hero, but I didn't really follow his stuff. But again, having seen him talk and having watched some more of his things, I'm like, yeah, he is cool. Then Tash Peterson is up there. Again, particularly after her speech last year. That was it was heartbreaking.
Amazing, wasn't it?
It was heartbreaking. But then after that, again, talking to Michelle about this earlier, the people that actually come and ask, the people that come to us and genuinely, without piss taking, come and ask why, and they show an interest. And even like we just said a few minutes ago, that they won't necessarily make the change. They don't come and fight. They just come interested and want to know something about it.
Yeah.
But then on the next level up from that, the people that do listen and do take stuff on board and do go and make changes, they inspire me more than anything, because we've been through that journey. And from the moment I went to now, it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work, not for being vegan, but because of society.
Yes.
And to be able to hold your own through all the shit in the first 12 months, 2 years of you being vegan, holding it together and sticking with it, and then still carrying on, that's inspirational right there.
Yes, really, really incredible, isn't it? Really incredible. Yeah. Yes, kudos to all those people. And yeah, for me, the people like Carrie that I mentioned, the people who go out and do that street activism, it doesn't go up on an Instagram feed or anything like that. They're not doing it for likes or retweets or views on TikTok or anything like that. They just go out and they do it, and that's, you know, spreading the message that way is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's in the moment, isn't it? It's in getting the reward in the moment. It's not getting it's not getting likes and shares and stuff. It's having those conversations in the moment.
And quite often there's no reward at all, because you spend 10, 15 minutes talking to somebody and then they'll just walk off. And you will never know whether or not that's a win or not. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never know whether what you've said has planted enough of a seed for them to go, do you know what? I remember talking to that person in that town centre. I'm going to go vegan.
And they can say in that moment, say, you've changed my mind. I'm gonna make a difference now. And
then they walk off to Greg's and get a steak bake or something. Yeah. So this is the big one that we haven't answered before. I suppose we have, in a way, because we've talked about it with our previous guests, haven't we, since we started asking it? Over probably the last 18 months, because it was our episode with Martin, wasn't it? Where it's first sort of came out, which was, I think, August or September. Yeah, about 18 months ago. So, Wes, do you have hope?
Before you say it, you mentioned Martin there, and I just want to say on the podcast, because I know he's listening, and he knows that he's going to be listening because he is listening. Love you, Martin.
Yeah, love you, man.
What were you saying?
Have you got any hope for the future?
So I have periods of like, what the fuck is happening? When is this all going to stop? God, I don't want to go massively deep. You know, I've struggled with my mental health for years, and I'm on the up now. I'm on the other side of that now. So I have to catch myself and remember that there has to be hope. And as much as the world is really, really shit at the minute, me and you, and those around us that listen to this podcast, hopefully the people that listen are vegan.
The millions of people around the world.
Yeah, but all those millions of people that are vegan, we are doing what we can do, and that's all we can do. And I mentioned it on the last episode that I was watching a documentary about something, and the lady that was on it said she has hope because there is so much information and knowledge out there now that we have the chance to make a difference.
We've never been in this position before.
No.
No.
You know, those ancient vegans from 20, 40 years ago that were living in, fuck knows how they did it.
Yeah.
I have no...
Eating nut roasts and hummus every day.
Yeah. But to come to where we are now, and just go, you know, you can go to a shop and pick up anything, and
Yeah.
and there may be another person in your street that is vegan as well. You might not know it, but there probably is. You know, it's going on what the percentage of people that are vegan now. We're still growing, and it will continue to grow. And the more of those videos that get out there, the more activism that happens, the more people will change. And I have to put that in my head,
Mhm.
because otherwise, those days when I'm struggling and then I'm thinking, yeah, the world's fucked, I have to turn it around. So I have to have hope.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I love that. For me, I found that there's a what's the word? Correlation between how busy I am, which generally how busy I am at work, with
Mm,
how my mental health is. And the busier I am at work, the better my mental health is, because I haven't got time to think about how shit everything is. And I think that's
right.
probably
Okay.
not the best way to be, but it means that I'm not scrolling endlessly through Instagram or reading articles about pollution, rising sea levels, the billions of animals that get killed every week. And it's almost like it's out of sight, out of mind, I think.
Mm,
And that's not great in terms of it's still, because it's still happening. But for me personally, from my mental health point of view, it helps a lot.
yeah.
Which means that in those times, so at the moment, work is busy, and I'm feeling positive about the fact that I took 10 carnists to a pizza restaurant, a vegan pizza restaurant last week, and they all loved it,
Yeah.
and no one died. And,
Yeah.
from protein deficiency, from missing a meal with meat in it, or,
Mm,
uh, you know, somebody asking me about what the Elwood's sticker means on my laptop, or going out and doing parkrun last weekend and in my vegan runner's top and stuff like that. I feel
yeah.
positive about that, and seeing other vegans and just being in contact with people, and I'd say getting new followers on Instagram, but not in a way of look how many followers we've got, but just because people are finding us and linking up, and they might be a future guest, they might be a future friend, there might be
Yeah.
someone who's just new to veganism that's just thinking, I need to listen. I want to listen to a podcast to find out more about it.
Yeah. How do other people vegan? Where can I go to find out that kind of
Yes.
information?
That was
But no, I
almost the
know
name
what
of
you
our
mean.
podcast. How do other people vegan?
But it is that, isn't it? Like you say, it's that, like, about that busyness. When you're busy, you don't think about it, you don't focus on it, and when you're not busy, it can start overwhelming you.
Yeah, a
And
lot.
there are many mental health tricks in the book to help with that.
Oh
But
yeah.
it becomes when it becomes overwhelming, it's a struggle. You know, I lay in bed some nights and I think about work all the time, and I'm there and I'm like, stop thinking
Mm,
about these people that I work with. It's not good for me.
no,
And then if
that's it.
it's not that, I start thinking, shit, it's really hot outside or it's really cold outside. You know, I said about the
Yeah,
reason I say that, I said about the weather before. When we have extremes of weather, I just start thinking, fuck.
yeah, yeah. I get that.
But
Absolutely get
but
that.
what's the point? Because we are doing everything we can.
That's it. And
And we literally can't do any more. We can't change other people. Oh God,
who don't want to
how
be
many times have
changed.
we used this? No, we can't change other people, but we can only change what we do.
Yes.
You know, and we've made the change. We've made that big change for ourselves, for the animals, and we can hope to change other people, but we can't make it happen. And if
No,
it doesn't
no.
happen, the human race goes extinct, then
Mm.
I used to say, bring it on, because the sooner we're off this planet, the better. I don't. I used to have this thing of that'd be a legendary moment to be in.
I don't
You
think
had
it would.
scenes. No, we'd in a massively morbid way. We'd be dying, but
Yeah.
we'd be in the moment, going, "This is the end of the world." This is
Oh,
a bit
they'll learn
mental.
about this. Oh no, they won't.
Yeah, no, they won't.
No.
But you know, it's
Well, for me,
Yeah.
what I like is that, not a lot I like, but my hope is that governments and organizations around the world realize the urgency and the enormity of it. And that can only happen by more and more people becoming vegan, buying vegan products, more and more meat companies, meat producing companies going out of business or scaling down their operations or converting to plant-based more and more and more
Yeah.
until it's their whole business. And
Mm.
I really feel like if there's hope, stumbled into a George Orwell quote. If there's hope, it lies in the proles, which is from 1984.
What, the proles?
The proles, the proletariat, the people, the
Okay.
normal people like us,
Yeah, yeah,
the people who vote,
yeah,
the
yeah.
people who work, not the
Yeah.
organizers. It's the revolution is going to come from the normal people, not from
Mm.
from the
And
top.
you talk about farmers there as well, and I think going back to that inspiration thing, I think there's a lot to be said for the farmers, the slaughterhouse workers, people that have been in those industries that have seen the light
Oh,
and they have
absolutely.
changed.
Yeah.
You know, the slaughterhouse workers that have come out and admitted it
Mhm.
affected their mental health. It you know, they couldn't sleep at night. They could literally, because of the things that they'd seen that day, the things that they'd done that day.
Yeah.
And the farmers that have, you know, you hear of farmers going, oh my, you show me how I'm supposed to grow plants on my land.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do that because I don't know how it works. But the way I saw this a couple of years ago, and this is only me, this is from nowhere, I have no evidence on this. But at the end of the day, farmers are businessmen.
And women.
The business, sorry, okay, edit that.
Business
Farmers
people.
are business people. And if you're running a business, you have to stay either ahead of the game or move with the times, whichever that
Yes.
is. So if you're a business person, you should be working out, right, I'm struggling. The government might cut my subsidies and I'm not going to be able to work. So change up what you're doing
Yeah.
and go make a difference. Keep your business going and change what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just because farming's always what you've done, work out what the next thing is to make sure you're
That's
still
it.
in business. You don't
Yeah.
have to go out of business. Just do the next thing that keeps you in it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's it.
but
No, that's absolutely it.
I don't know what those answers are. But you're the business person. You go crack on.
It's the same as 200 years ago when they banned slavery. All those slave owners and people who traffic people, they didn't
Yep.
just stop. I mean, they stopped doing it with people, but they had to evolve into other forms of business. Like you say, they're business people. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Very often, the business that the person works in at the end or runs at the end isn't what they started off with. It evolves. That's how things are. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know, we had J.H. Burnett on, didn't we, who told us very movingly about his experiences working on animal farms, and it was absolutely horrendous. So yeah, and also, if you're in that position, listener, and you want to come and tell us about it, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah,
we'd love to hear it.
I would love that. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Because they're the stories that really blow my mind. To be fair, that's why I brought it up about inspiration stuff, because they have been in there. I've never slaughtered an animal.
No.
Not,
I could never
not
have
to
done that.
level.
Even when I ate meat, I couldn't have like chopped a chicken's head off or something. No way.
No.
That would have broken me. I could not have done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
So yeah, to having never done that, and these people have, and they've changed because of it, and
Yeah,
they've come onto this side of the fence. It's another level.
it is.
Oh,
So we have hope.
yeah, I think we
Overall.
have to. I think we have to, because if we don't, so I can't remember. Somebody said it on a recent episode. If we don't have hope, then what's the point?
Yeah. What have we got? Nothing.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed that. I did. That was nice. Good to revisit those questions from our point of view. We're normally the ones asking them, not answering them now. So it was good to go back over that.
Yeah, again, who'd have thought we would have got to this point of revisiting that?
I know, yeah. And if you want to come on and tell us your answers to our questions, then why don't you drop us a line? Come and find us on Instagram, Facebook, or send us an email. How would they do that, Wes?
You could send an email to howiveganpodcast@gmail.com.
Love it.
Thank you so much, everybody that listens. You're all legends. I know I've said over this time that thank you for listening, but you must be mental. I know you're not. I know you're not mental. You're lovely, and we love you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And happy birthday to us. And here's to the next 2 years. No, what did we work out? We're going to do 98 episodes. I think that's what we said.
Yeah. Either 98 episodes or when we win an award.
Right, 98 episodes then. Okay, good. That's fixed. Happy days. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah, thank you ever so much.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
And we'll see you next time.